You ever hear of a friend or loved one's house was searched by law enforcement, and you wonder whether or not that was lawful and what their rights were in that situation? Well, I'm about to tell you all about your rights, or lack of rights, when it comes to law enforcement doing a protective sweep of your home without a warrant. Hi, I'm Daniel M. Rosenberg. I'm a criminal defense attorney and the founding partner of Rosenberg, Perry & Associates. In this video, I'm going to talk about what your rights are with regard to your home and the police and law enforcement's ability to search your home. So the first thing you need to know is, what are your privacy rights as granted to you by the United States Constitution? What I'm talking about is your Fourth Amendment right to remain free of warrantless searches and seizures. So that means that the government, the state or the federal government, cannot enter and search your home without a warrant. That's commonly referred to as the warrant requirement. The warrant requirement in broad strokes is your local law enforcement entity seeking a reason to go into your home without your permission. So they seek a search warrant. In order to do that, they go in front of a judge, they provide information to that judge, and they make the argument that if they meet the appropriate legal standard, that judge should give them a warrant to then search your home. The judge makes that analysis, and if the judge deems that they've met the legal standard, the judge will sign a search warrant, provide it to the government. They can then search your house. That's if there's a warrant. What if law enforcement doesn't have a warrant? Are they still allowed to search your home or your person or your property? The short answer is maybe, when there's an exception to the warrant requirement. And there's a number of exceptions. So the exception we're talking about here today is the protective sweep exception to the warrant requirement. And that is if a law enforcement officer is engaging in lawful conduct, for instance, effectuating arrest inside your home. They are allowed to, for the safety of the officers, do a protective sweep of the surrounding area to ensure that there are no other individuals, dangers, or weapons in the home. So now that you're aware that there's an exception to the warrant requirement that allows law enforcement to do a protective sweep, what exactly are the limits to that protective sweep? Meaning, if law enforcement arrests you in your kitchen, can they then search your entire home? The short answer is no. And that is because there are limits to a protective sweep. And they're differentiated by whether or not the arrest occurs inside the house or outside the house. Let's talk about inside the house. Law enforcement is not giving a blank slate and allowed to search the entirety of the house. Rather, law enforcement officers can perform a protective sweep when arresting a person inside a home only under specific circumstances. For example, police can search areas immediately adjacent to the arrest area as a precaution if they are areas from which someone could attack them. And law enforcement can search beyond that immediate area if there's articulable facts that would lead a reasonable and prudent police officer to believe that there's risks beyond the immediate area. The bottom line is, you get arrested in your kitchen, it is not a blank check to search the entirety of the house. Now, what happens if you're searched outside of your home? Can law enforcement then go inside your home and search it? Well, the New Jersey Supreme Court held that when an arrest occurs outside a home, the police may not enter the dwelling or conduct a protective sweep in the absence of a reasonable and articulable suspicion that a person or persons are present inside and pose an immediate threat to the officer's safety. The court then went on to list a number of factors that it would consider when determining whether or not law enforcement can then go into your home. The takeaway from this is, if you're arrested outside your home, they cannot go inside your home as a protective sweep unless there is a reasonable and articulable suspicion to go inside the home. It's possible, but it's a more significant hurdle for law enforcement to meet to go inside your home if you're arrested outside. At the end of the day, no matter what your situation is, the specific facts and circumstances are going to dictate whether or not law enforcement's conduct was lawful. So if you or someone you know has questions about the warrant requirement, their Fourth Amendment rights, a protective sweep, or any other exceptions to the warrant requirement, feel free to contact our office. We'd be happy to help in any way we can. We'll take the time we need to evaluate your situation and give you blunt and candid advice. We are criminal trial attorneys. We have your back. That's what we do.